Mike D checking in here, man. Want to talk some hip hop. A lot of hip hop going on right now. Off top, Cardi B released Imaginary Players. Now, when Cardi put out Imaginary Players as a title and released the news for it, I already knew that it was going to be a cover that it was. Now, I'm going to get to that in a second. But first things first, let me say this. Imaginary Players, to me, top 5 Jay-Z song for me. And I've said that on this channel before. You can even go in the backlog of this channel and see me talking about that record. So I hold this record very, very high. And I do that because to me, Imaginary Players is indicative as it is to who Jay-Z is as an artist. That record to me, if somebody didn't know too much about Jay-Z, alien coming in from outer space, or a young listener didn't know too much about Jay-Z as an artist, Imaginary Players is going to be one of the records that I would play because that's Jay-Z at conversational flow best. And to me, when Jay's in his conversational flow, he's the best at it. Like, that is his chamber, that's his lane where I feel like he surpasses all of his peers in. And you have to be incredibly skilled to be such a conversational MC in the way that he is. And Imaginary Players is that record where he shows how conversational he can be and how powerful of an MC he can be in that conversational flow. You got these young cats acting like they run stacks, all in their dumb raps, talk about how they fun stats. When I see them on the streets, I don't see none of that. Damn, Playboy, what the fuck's the hum at? Where's all the ice with all the platinum under that? Those ain't Rolex diamonds. What the fuck you done to that? Rapping ass niggas, y'all funny to me. Selling records being you, but still you want to be me. And it takes a level of skill to be able to pull those things off in a conversational flow to the way that he did and to the magnitude that he did. Now, I already didn't think that Cardi would be a great fit for that. And now she has some slick lines here and there. And I'm not sure exactly, where the influence for her to actually try to pull this off came from. I don't know if it came from Jay's camp, her personally, or Jay personally. I don't know. But to me, on the record, she sounds like she's kind of reading off a script. Now, she has some, hot lines here and there. But overall, for an artist who hadn't released an album in 7 years, and Invasion of Privacy is her only studio album, right? And you had 7 years to make this, Am I the Drama album. We expect some more originality, you know what I'm saying? And to me, an Imaginary Player remake, because that's what it is. I mean, she took the flow, she was inhabiting the flow, added her own words to it, or, Cardi's also said that she doesn't write all the time. Who knows who put, some of those bars together? Maybe she put those bars together. That whole glory hole line or whatnot, bitches like glory hole, they don't know who they fucking with type of line. I was like, I don't know. I don't know if she put that together, but regardless, right? I think this is a mixtape style of record or a mixtape type of record. I don't think this is a record that you put out as a single for an album that has been in the making for, let's just say, 6-7 years. You know what I mean? It's already including WAP that is 5 years old. To me, this kind of points to the fact that she may not have a lot of material. Now, I know a lot of people online ranting and raving about the job that she did on Imaginary Players. And I mean, I guess, but how low are we putting the bar? I don't think this is the record that you put out as a single, period, let alone an album that again has a 7 year gap from its previous album, and it's your only album, right? Where's the originality here? I remember in the 90s, Prince was talking about, with all the sampling going on, one day we're going to reach a point where we're going to get songs that are samples of samples. We're here now. And not only is it a sample of a sample, but it's actually a whole cover where the flow's not original, the concept's not original, the actual content in it, it's not original. And damn near, I mean, the track and everything, you didn't have to find anything. Imaginary Players is a classic. Now, I don't know, like I said, I don't know whose camp this came from or if this came from Cardi. I've never heard Cardi speak about Volume 1 or Imaginary Players to that magnitude where I would expect this from her. But This seems like it would be more in Nicki's wheelhouse when it comes to age range. I mean, because Volume One, I'm sure Nicki, as a New Yorker and being in the age range that she is, she remembers Volume One, or at least went back to Volume One in more recent time than somebody like a Cardi would have. And I know that Nicki and Jay have been, well, not a back and forth really, but Nicki's been going to Jay on Twitter. I don't know if this is possibly a way to respond without responding. Who knows? That's stuff that people on the internet say. But I mean, it all, it's very interesting when you think about all three individuals involved. Now, this did benefit Jay, and I know I made a video recently asking if Jay's inactivity hurts his legacy with younger listeners. Now, this is a way for Jay to reach younger listeners and get younger listeners to organically go back to his back catalog and his previous material on a level of content, excuse me, and a level of context. So they're able to go back to Imaginary Play and be like, look, this is the originator and this is how he did it. And this was really nice. And it's one of his best records. I don't know where Jay ranks Imaginary Players as in his catalog, but I know he holds Volume One high, even though Volume One had some mistakes here and there from a mainstream standpoint. But the records like Imaginary Players, where I'm from, Streets is Watching, he holds extremely high. And so for younger listeners to be able to go back and listen to that record and records of that quality from Volume One and put those back on the Apple Music charts and, in the Spotify charts, I'm sure that's something that makes Jay very proud. And honestly, when it comes to the inactivity thing, this may be something moving forward that Jay can look at, where it's like, you know what, let's get some of these artists that are currently in their primes and currently rolling to, redo some of my previous works and get the younger generation, or, younger listeners, or even the older listeners who may have moved on to other things, to go back and listen to these songs again and get them charting again. I mean, I think from a business standpoint, it makes sense. We've seen records that are 10, 15 years old just because of TikTok challenges, this and that, be able to get back on the charts. I mean, we seen Young LA have a resurgence with the whole Ain't I thing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that's out of the wheelhouse. And to try this out on Cardi B first, who's gonna have one of the biggest releases, period, not just in hip hop, of the year, I think is a very, very smart move. Now, me personally, I think on Cardi's end, it's unoriginal. I think the execution wasn't all the way there because from a skill level, let's just be honest. I mean, she's nowhere near Jay-Z from a skill level. And from a record like this, in my personal opinion, takes top level skill level when it comes to conversational flow. Conversational flow, it don't get no better than Jay. And you picked the record, or a record was laid out there where Jay-Z's conversational flow is at its highest. And to me, it sounds like she's reading off the page when it comes to the stuff in between the verses that's on the hook or whatnot. It doesn't sound as natural as when Jay was doing it, and as conversational as when Jay was doing it. But that's just me. And again, when you're working in that dimension and working in that chamber, I think that's more of a mixtape thing as opposed to an album thing. And I think that the album stuff, especially for an artist that has this many resources and this many people that want to collab and has had this much time to create new music, I think it's unacceptable for us to sit here and gas up a remake where the flow's not original, the track's not original, the concept's not original, and the bars are nowhere near the original. So that's just my opinion. I would love to get you guys' opinion on it. I think it missed the mark. I mean, it was going to miss the mark just in theory off top, man. I don't think there was any way to really place this on an album like this. This should have been more of a mixtape. And I think even with the 7-year span, Cardi should have been able to give us a mixtape and an album. That's just my personal opinion. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section, man. Hit like and subscribe. Let me know if y'all think I'm off base on this. I know the Cardi fans are gonna kill me on this one, but I just had to be honest about it. Nobody else is saying this. All right, talk to you soon.